Woo! Live music with my friends. Hey, everyone. My friends in the room and my friends on the stream. What's going on? Thanks for joining for another Playground Session stream. We are live in Akron, Ohio, and we have, well, first of all, we have some masks on because we truly are live. I'm here with some of my best friends in the world and my musical partners. Matthew DiRobertis on the bass. Give it up for him in the virtual worlds. And Holbrook Riles, if that's not a cool enough name already, it's the third. Holbrook Riles the third on the drums. Give it up for Holbrook. These guys are awesome. And they're joining me today so that we can play some piano trio music. Now, as you know, most of the time, 99% of the time, I'm giving you guys lessons or performances on the 88 keys alone. And so this is a fun instance for me to be able to talk about how to play the piano, how to approach playing the piano differently, and more when you're playing with a band versus playing by yourself. So we picked a couple of songs tonight today, to kind of showcase some stuff. And all these songs you can find, by the way, in the interactive song store in the app. So check that out. That was Yesterday by the Beatles, if you didn't know. And we had some fun with that one because it's such a known song. We thought it would be fun to kind of insert a little, what we call a vamp section into that. So I don't know if you noticed, but we kind of were getting bluesy for a minute in the beginning. Let's just vamp for a second like we were doing in the intro there. Kind of soft, Holbrook. So this song we're playing in the key of F. Key of F, right? And stay on the vamp for a sec, but the melody would go, right? But we're not going to move on yet. We're just going to do a vamp on the F chord, and we decided to open it up and kind of get bluesy with it. Here you go. We made cues to each other to move on. All right, let's pause there, guys. So we decided to do that, one, because we all know this song well, and we just like to have some fun and jam sometimes too. But it's kind of an interesting thing to do because you can really do it anywhere you like. It just takes some communication up front. So what we did was kind of make this little arrangement on the fly. And what's important is that you talk it out ahead of time, but also that you are able to make clear cues. And since we're playing music, typically we can't just shout at each other, but especially now with our masks on, we can't even mouth stuff to each other. So we have to only use eyes. And it's funny, I think maybe nowadays with masks, our cues are extra clear because you look at us like, Holbrook's got some good eye cues like that too. But you have to be able to cue and have a communication with your band. So you have to have eyesight, and you have to have some sort of a nod or a gesture, okay? As long as you have those two things, then you can really insert a vamp or an open section like that wherever you like. So that's kind of a fun arranging on the fly type thing. And we just chose Yesterday because it's a beautiful tune. So that was that. I hope you enjoyed. Next up, we're going to do one. I think you'll also know this one as well, but it's a beautiful song on the piano. And we'll talk about it after we play. Shall we? Maybe you recognize that one, maybe you didn't. We had some fun with that one. But that is such a beautiful song by Norah Jones. It's not that old, but I think even when it is, it's going to stand the test of time. I think that tune is going to last. I think it's like a perfect song, actually. And part of the reason I believe that is because of the chord progression. And so actually, instead of talking about how I played this with a band versus how I would play it separately from a band or solo, what I'd like to do is just kind of talk through this progression, all right? I love it, so let's break it down. It has a lot of cool stuff in it. I'll start with just sort of the basic version of the chord here. We're in the key of B flat. And so we start with a B flat major triad. And there's also a major 7 in there, which is a half step below the root. So that's the line, that's the note that I want you to pay attention to here. The chord progression is really beautiful, but the line descends by half steps through the whole chord progression. It's really awesome. Check it out. Then we go to a B flat dominant 7 chord, so that we're going to flat the 7. Then we're going to go to an E flat major chord, but the melody line just goes down by a half step. From here, we'll continue down a half step to F sharp, and we're going to go to a D7 chord here on the left hand. Okay, still with me? Then the melody continues down to an F natural. That's going to be the flat 7 of a G minor chord, so G minor 7. Continuing down more by another half step to an E. That's the third of a C7 chord. Okay, 2 more. Continuing down, E flat. It's kind of an F7 sus type of a sound. And then resolving down to the D, that's a third of our B flat chord. It's just a perfect motion, perfect resolution. I'll do it again. Watch the top line here. And in fact, Matt, the bassist for this evening, pointed something out right before the show started. I love it. I think we should do it here. Matt said if he just played the roots of the chords and I just played that melody line, that's the essence of the harmony, the motion, the progression, everything. It still sounds very clear what the harmony is. It's really cool. It's the bare essence of the progression. So let's try that, actually. Yeah. Actually, Holbrook, can we get a little bit from you too? But I'm just going to play the line, and Matt's just going to play the bass. No other part of the chords will be played here. Let's do it again. It's so perfect. Let's keep looping that, actually. One more time. That's all you need. Of course, I mess up the last note. So yeah, it's such a beautiful song, a beautiful progression. Don't forget, we've got this song in all difficulty levels in our song library in the app. If you don't have the app yet, you got to check it out. You guys, free trial to the app for 30 days. Click the link in the description. That's all there for you. So if you don't have the app yet, I'm looking at you, Sarah. I'm looking at you. We need you in the app. There's a free trial, so check it out. You can get this song and much more for free. But man, what a wonderful tune, and especially even at the rookie level, you just saw that we can do a single note in the left hand, or in this case tonight on bass, and a single note in the right hand for melody, and it sounds complete. The harmony sounds there. So I encourage all of you to check out that beautiful song. Let's keep it moving. We're going to play another one of our favorites from, well, really just in general, one of our favorites in life, but also from what we have in the song library. So we're going to play another one. I'm going to leave it to you guys. Whoever writes it first in the chat, what song this is, you win a free song credit. And then we'll discuss afterwards. Man, I'm having fun. Are you guys?
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, Phil, can I say something about that last song?
Oh, yeah, no problem.
So, what I really like about that single melody line as it relates to a band context
Yeah.
is it shows you a lot of the times playing less on your individual instrument can make for a better, more clear, open sound in the band. I've found that it's in the past it was really easy for me to think I wasn't doing enough when actually I was doing too much.
Uh-huh.
And when we strip it away and find those like really key elements, and then we all kind of stick to our parts and layer in through those key elements, you can make a really balanced, open sound with a band. And I just like that.
That's a great point. Yeah, it's a great point. It's another reminder that when you're playing with a group, it doesn't matter if there's 2 people or 50. The point is there is one group sound when you perform, or whenever you play together, right? You don't want to think, here's my sound, and like everyone has their individual sounds. Of course, you do need to consider that when you're, working on your parts and leading up to the performance. But when you're playing as a group, you have to think about the group sound, and sometimes that means stripping down parts of your individual sound so that the group sound is not too thick and involved. Sometimes you just need a little ingredient from one person, a little ingredient from the other, and you've got what the music needs. So good point. Yep. All right, the suspense must be killing you out there, guys, for what this next song is for your free song credit. So we're gonna hit it. You know, sometimes, thanks. Hey, yeah, give it up real quick one time for Aiden, who's helping put the stream together tonight, but also for Mike and for Brian for helping with the production tonight. Thank you, guys. Give it up one more time for Holbrook Riles III on the drums, Matthew Diribertis on the bass. Thanks for watching Playground's channel. This is still kind of new for Playground Sessions to do this type of thing. So if you haven't chimed in yet in the chat or in a comment on this yet, please let us know if this is something you want to see more of or if you'd like to see it differently. We really want to hear what you guys want from the channel, and we want to give it to you. So that was one of our favorite songs. Aiden, can you see the comments? Did anyone get that right? We're going to see who wins a free song credit here. Sarah Pickles. Of course. Sarah is like the diehard fan in these live streams and somehow doesn't have the Playground Sessions app. I think that's hilarious, but also like really cool too. Like for some reason, it just feels like, yeah. Thank you for your support, Sarah. But you're not allowed to win free song credits because you don't have the app. So Aiden, who's the next runner-up? Ahmad Boyle. Good work. That was Hallelujah. A lot of people will shorthand just kind of say, "Oh, Hallelujah" by Jeff Buckley, right? I think we all know what you mean. What we mean by that is that version is kind of the famous one, but not as many people know that that was a song written by Leonard Cohen, and just so widely covered, such a popular one. And what we wanted to do was play around with one of the defining themes of that song. To me, a defining element of that song is that arpeggio pattern that the guitarist would play, or here on piano we can also easily play. It's something like this, right? So that's kind of the classic way to do this. And we did do that I did play that at some point in there. But we also talked a little bit about trading roles a bit. Maybe you noticed earlier on in the song that Matthew was playing the melody on the bass. And when he was, I was trying to, excuse me, I was trying to come lower down here and play like sort of the bass role and the harmony role. Kind of down here, open and rhythmic as well, while Matt played the melody. So that was a fun sort of interpretation of that. And then when Matt was done with the melody, he then shifted into playing a more rhythmic part that was meant to imitate that same arpeggio type thing. So maybe, Matt, you can remind us, what did you play at that part? So this is kind of a bass-friendly way of doing it. It may not be note for note what I was playing, but that's kind of the beauty of it, is we're sort of taking the theme and doing our own interpretations of it. So when he was doing that, I was not playing the rhythm in my left hand, and in fact, I purposely was being pretty open and with a lot of rests in between what I was playing. So Matt, maybe we can take that verse there, where I'll take the melody. And I'll just remind you, notice I would never do this if I was playing solo piano. This is so empty, but with Matt playing the harmony and the rhythm, I can get away with being more sparse. Let's try it. All right, so I might do it like this. Okay, so disregard the last part. But the point there is, if I played that alone, right, without Matt, and I said, hey, everyone, I'm here to play piano, I'm going to play Hallelujah, and I just played this, it's recognizable. You might say, oh, yeah, that sounds like Hallelujah, but it would be really hard to groove with me or nod your head or tap your foot because I'm not marking any time.
Very delicate.
Yeah, it's delicate. And sometimes that's an effect you may want, but other times when you have a song with such a defining thing like this arpeggiated pattern, when it's not there, it feels empty. It feels like it's lacking something. But when I know that my bassist is going to cover it, then I'm free to back off. So that's a theme you'll run into often in these kind of classes with us, is that we want to make room for the other people to do their thing too. And I hope that's, if there's one takeaway I hope you have for playing in any group setting, I hope it's that.
Phil, can I say one more thing about
Please.
that?
Yeah.
So in the first part where you were comping underneath me playing the melody, you know, there was a nice moment to expand upon what you're talking about,
Yeah.
where, you know, at first I was playing the melody more up here. Right, but then for the second half of it, I had to take it down because there's not enough notes on my bass. So, but what Phil did to complement that, you know, with a melody down here, is now the melody's in the lower register, so he's going to move up higher to make space for that melody. So now we've got room for that to happen too.
Yep.
If he was stayed down there, it wouldn't have sounded very good.
Yeah, we would have clashed a little bit. It would have been hard for ears, even our own ears, to tell is that my note, is that his note? We don't want to ever feel that way. We want to just get out of each other's way and support the other person by getting out of the way. And also, you know, you're rounding out the other parts of the sound. If he's down here, it's not just about staying out of his way. It's also about let's get some variety and have a balance and have some high textures as well. Yeah, great point. I mean,
So piano players, if you want to make your bass player extra happy,
that's right.
look at that register that they're playing in and find that balance, and it makes for that nice balanced sound.
And the same could be true, you know, for those of you who aren't necessarily improvising and listening and doing that while improvising. That might be a big challenge, but this could also be true for arranging. If you've got a band and you've got band practice and you want to write a part, a section out, and your bassist wants to do something way up here, you know, you can imagine what it would be, but you could then say, what would I do in this part? Well, if the bassist is up here, I probably shouldn't be here. Maybe I'll come down here and go boom, and play something down there. So this is also true in, you know, arranging and composing as well. You want to think about making room for everyone and everything, all right? All right. Do we have any questions? Let me see if I can find you guys on here. Maybe I'll check in with the chat. But since we're set up in a different way today, I don't have my normal stream and my normal access to the comments, but I'm going to take 1 second here to pull it up because I miss you guys. All right. Okay. Hey, I kind of see you guys now. Sarah Pickles, you want to keep the jam session to once a month? Yeah, that would be fun. Maybe these guys would be down for that too. Joanne Hayes says, wasn't I the second? And she does have the app. So we might have a dispute with the results. But that's okay. You know what, Joanne, we're going to also give you a free song credit. So both of you can email support@playgroundsessions.com. Or not. And attention, Andrew. And then say, I win a free song credit from last night's live stream. You both win. Iman Boyle. Joe Kuser. Hey, guys. Looking for some questions on the topics that we're covering today. I want to make sure I'm getting to them just in case. Robert Atkins, what's going on? Great to see you guys. Michelle. Hey, Elta John. You guys, the one time I was, we were doing something. I think I was doing a live improv lesson where I like to ask the people watching to give me like words, and I'll like make something up. I'll make a story up or something, make up a song. And one time, Elton John wrote something like, I'm just making this up. It was like, happy in 3/4 or something. And I was like, I did like a double take because I literally thought it was Elton John in the chat. Like, is Elton John watching us right now? You probably get that a lot. Sorry, Elton, but I had to tell my guys here. A little part of me thinks that every single time I see your name in the chat. All right, well, thanks so much, you guys, for writing in. I see a bunch of conversations going on here, which I love. I love the community, how you guys all have become friends over this awesome thing called the piano. I love seeing that. Not seeing any questions about this topic, and that's totally fine. We just want to also provide some entertainment. We love playing music. We hope you enjoy it too. So we're going to play another one here. And this one was kind of a curveball that I threw at my guys here. But I just really love the piano, the specific piano part to this song. It's actually something that I picked out a long time ago when a famous rapper sampled the song, and it still remained pretty intact. The piano part remained pretty intact in the sample, and so I loved that song because it had that rap song because it had a great piano part. And then I learned about the real song that it was sampled from. Anyways, that's a whole journey of my life to this song, to this moment, to play this song. And once again, first one to get it right and who has the app wins a free song credit. Oh, my intro's going to give it away. Man, something about that beat. That is such a fun song. And it's a pretty full piano part. In fact, there's not a lot of wiggle room in that part. And there were a few moments in there where I tried to wiggle it and I regretted it. So it's not to be messed with. And in fact, I kind of want to talk about this part for a second. It's really cool. The verse is really distinct, and the chorus is separately very distinct in a really cool way too. But first, I want to know if anybody got this one right. Joe Kuser. Excellent. Excellent, Joe. Good work. You get a free song credit. The answer is The Way It Is. It's a Bruce Hornsby song. Did anyone get the rapper who sampled it? I'm putting Aiden on the spot here. He's doing Andrew's job tonight too. So it wasn't an official part of the question, but Tupac Shakur was the rapper that had a really famous song, really popular song, and it was basically that exact part. It wasn't an obscure sample. I mean, the rap song literally sounds like. With that same beat almost too. So anyways, beautiful song, right? So that part is super cool. We have a couple of minor chords in a row. We go A minor to E minor, and then walking down D major to C major. So a nice contrast between minor and major here. Then to major G chord. This is basically the one in the key here. The 5 is the D chord, and then we're going to the 4 chord, which is C. So A minor, E minor, D major, C major, G, D, C. You might see me doing little turns and things. If you guys have seen the lesson that Harry Connick teaches in the boot camp on genres, you may remember his lesson on that country turn in the chord. It's almost like you can't overuse it. It's like still, but you can. But it's cool. It's a nice thing when used in moderation, and I definitely like it in this song. You know, I'll overdo it for a second. You know, but if you use it in moderation, it's a cool thing too. The syncopation is also important to this riff. The rhythm is important. That syncopation. So those are called like hits. Everyone would hit those hits together, so to speak. But then the same chord progression is used underneath the verse, but the syncopations are, for the most part, removed. So then we get into more of a groove, and that's important because whether it's Bruce singing or Tupac, you know, rapping on top of it, we don't want to be at our busiest underneath the leading part, whether it's a melody or what. So we took the same approach here. We played the riff. It's almost like an interlude when it has those syncopations, but then when the official verse starts, then the syncopations are gone, and we play it more like this. Just more on the strong beats. Same progression though. So the syncopation is a nice differentiator there between sections. And then the chorus is one of my favorites, not just because of the actual piano part, but because of the progression. It's really cool. We're in the key of G. We hit it strong on the G chord in the chorus, the 1 chord. And then we immediately drop down a whole step, which is technically pretty outside of the key of G. We go down to an F major chord. And that's just a really nice effect coming from that G. And then that resolves down by a 4th to C. That's the 4 chord in the key, so that will resolve as well down a 4th, back to G. It's a really cool cycle. So it's really satisfying to just jam on that. In fact, since we're all here with our instruments in our hands, let's play through that chorus. Let's do it a little slower, though, just so we can kind of let everyone check out these chords, and I want to be able to talk about them, too, kind of as we go. So what if we did it like... Just kind of... So G major, F major, and C major. The F major also has a major 7 on it. So that note up there in that riff actually outlines that major 7. That's an important one too, and it's super cool. So the riff goes A, B, G, G, A, E, D, E, G. I'll do it slower. It goes A, B, G is the first one. The next one is G, A, E. And the final one is D, E, G. Now I'll speed it up. One more time. Actually, keep it going, guys. Now I'll add the basic triads in the left hand. And now, let's keep it going. I'll add the little melody part in between. Check it out. Then you're back to this. And then... See, let's pause there. So there, I kind of messed up a little bit, and so I got off the part. I still played the kind of the right notes and stuff, but the part itself, I strayed from it, and it immediately sounded wrong. Unlike a song like Yesterday or Hallelujah, for example, a slower song, a more sparse kind of melody and chord progression. We can get away with kind of shifting things around a little bit. But in this song, that's my main teaching moment, I think, for this song, is when there's a song that has a part, a part that is the part, that has to be respected. And you don't want to kind of half learn it and half phone it in, or you don't want to, you know, get, even if you know it well, you don't want to get too far away from what it is. It's the part, okay? It's not a suggestion.
It's the way it is.
It's the way it is. Thank you, man. How did I not get that?
I got you, Phil.
Yeah, it's a group dynamic, you guys. You know. So, where was I going with that? The way it is. It's the way it is. Yeah. Well, I can't remember, but that's okay. The part. So, thank you. So, thank you, Holbrook. So the part is the part. So this is an instance where, actually, you would play it you can play it pretty close to how you would in a solo piano setting. So here's actually how I would probably do this chorus in a solo piano setting. So my left hand is reaching a little further than I probably would when Matt's playing, and I'm being a little bit more rhythmic down here than I would be if Holbrook was playing. But in general, I'm still doing the full left-hand chords, the full right-hand part. So when I'm playing with the guys, I'm doing something more like this. So I am changing the range just a little bit. However, you'll notice I'm not messing with the harmony, the melody, or the rhythm at all, right? And that's important. That's the part. Range, I guess, can be excused, or at least, I should say, adapted, depending on your situation that you're in. But the part is the part. That's kind of the lesson here. I wouldn't argue that the melody for Hallelujah, for example, is the same sort of etched in stone like this part is. I would say you can cover it your own way. You can take some liberties with it. And that's acceptable. But with a song like this, where it's the part is the part, That's my point. Maybe I've hammered it in enough now. Well, guys, I think we're just about at that time. This was super fun for us, and I'm going to go through the chat later and make sure I check in with you guys because, again, one of the downsides of this setup is I don't have that screen in front of me to see you guys. I hope you understand, but I'm looking forward to going through all those chats and checking in and answering any questions that you may have, especially about playing in a group setting or even just your own observations or comments. Are you in a band? Do you apply these things? Or what are some tips you might have to other people watching? Let's talk about that, right? And so even if it's not now during this session, I'll follow up and we can keep the conversation going. Once again, just as a quick reminder before we get out of here, next week we're taking the week off from YouTube Live, but we're going to be starting fresh in September with some brand new stuff. So there's a live poll going on in the channel right now where you can vote on the topics for September. I just want to remind you guys to check that out. But we're off next week, so let's all take a break. And we'll come back in September, and hopefully it'll be fall and not so hot and summery out. I know Matt doesn't want that. But all right, guys, I guess we're going to leave it there. But we'll just play you out a little bit of music for our exit music. And one more time, give it up, please, in the chat. And look for these guys online as well. They do their own music, and they have their own projects. Definitely worth checking out. Holbrook Riles the third on the drums, please. Matthew Diribertis on the bass. These guys are awesome. Thank you guys for coming and doing this. All right, and thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in September, first Wednesday in September.
From the top?
What do you want to do? Want to jam on that again?
Yeah.
Yeah, hit it.
1 and 2. 1, 2.